It's Monday, June 25th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. The pesky sargassum seaweed is threatening the livelihoods of fisherfolk. So says the president of the Barbados National Union of Fisherfolk Organizations, Vernell Nichols. She told the church service to mark the start of the Fisherfolk Week of activities that the sargassum seaweed is keeping several species of fish at bay. And on Tuesday, fisherfolk will discuss the issue at a forum entitled Sargassum Seaweed from Problem to Profit. Nichols says it's a matter that needs serious attention.
Fishery workers and their livelihoods have been impacted due to the presence of the seaweed. Some of the challenges experienced are loss of gear, lower catches in some species of fish, especially the flying fish, and loss of income. The flying fish is especially the species that employs the majority of the over 5,000 persons operating in the fishing industry.
Also this week, a Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, Kirk Humphrey, is scheduled to meet with BARNUFO to discuss concerns about operations at the Bridgetown Fisheries Complex and other matters. Meanwhile, the government is giving small businesses the assurance that they will get all the necessary support to grow their operations. The pledge is coming from a Minister of Entrepreneurship, Dwight Sutherland, who urged small businesses to get on board with national efforts to turn around the economy. Speaking at a mix and mingle hosted for the clients of Fund Access at the weekend, the minister said the sector has been earmarked as a leading driver of economic growth, and his ministry will support its growth.
I intend for my ministry to be evidence and target-based and to invest heavily in information system and communication modalities to not only improve the way we do business, but to enhance how we communicate with each other and the officials whose mission is to serve the commercial sector's needs.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley is expected to meet with developers of all major projects beginning today, among them Mark Maloney, the developer of the stalled multi-million-dollar Hyatt-centric resort on Bay Street, the city. Ms. Mottley made the announcement last week, saying that she would hold talks with all major developers in the country in a bid to understand where their developments are, what are the obstacles that are currently blocking them, if any, and what were the things that are needed to address and facilitate them. Crop Over 2018 is officially underway, and there are changes to at least one of its signature events. Minister of the Creative Economy and Culture, John King, tell patrons to expect new attractions at Bridgetown Market, which runs from August 5th to 8th. He made the comments at the annual First Citizens Crop Over Explosion held at the weekend at the King George V Memorial Park.
The final and perhaps the biggest change is the re-imaging of Bridgetown Market to breathe new life per se into the event. The objective is to spark renewed interest in and by extension boost sales for the many vendors on site. The strategy behind this rebirth was conceptualized to give patrons more options for activities, taking into consideration the dynamics of demographics now attending this event. The overarching theme, Come See the World at Bridgetown Market, encompasses a number of new and revamped activities and zones. You could be a tourist for a day at the Bridgetown Beach Party or watch local films under the stars. The Flour Mill site will now be the home to an international food fair, a car show, the 100% Bajan stalls and craft village, and at least one of the entertainment stages slated for the venue, which will play host to the International Latin Dance Fest and a Chinese cultural show.
In sports, the Barbados junior squash team is due back home later today after making their mark at the Pan Am Junior Championships in Brazil. The team was declared the overall champions on their first appearance at a major junior championship. They copped 2 golds and 1 silver at the prestigious event, where they seized the most gold medals of the 13 participating countries. Megan Best took silver in the girls individuals category, and the girls duo of Best and Amanda Haywood claimed gold in the girls doubles category. To top it off, the trio team of Best, Haywood and Jada Smith-Padmore displayed sensational teamwork to gain the final gold in the girls team category. The boys team of Kamal Cumberbatch and Joshua Griffith also put up a strong fight, but it wasn't enough to make it to the podium.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Regionally, the Bahamian government is taking steps to have locals audit the country's value-added tax. That's according to Finance Minister Peter Turnquest, who revealed that a foreign team had been in charge of auditing VAT since it was introduced back in 2015. We get more in this report from Betty Thompson-Moss of ZNS News.
VAT is said to be the most important reform of taxation system for the region. It was introduced locally in 2015 and accounts for 40% of total revenues. But the accounting for VAT in the Bahamas could be changing, with Bahamians playing a greater role in its audit.
In the public sector alone, the government of the Bahamas is already recruiting Bahamian professionals to work as VAT auditors. The government has outsourced VAT auditing to an international team ever since it was introduced. And we fly them in quarterly to conduct these audits at great expense. And so there is opportunity. For the first time, we are implementing a strategic plan for the government to transfer those responsibilities to Bahamian professionals. Over the next few years, we'll have a transition to a full team of Bahamian specialized tax auditors, creating a new career path for Bahamian professionals.
These professionals will now have to account for VAT generation at 12%.
And finally, on the international scene, Zimbabwe's president says elections will go ahead as planned on July 30th, despite what he described as an attempt on his life on Saturday. 41 people were injured in a blast at a city rally that occurred close to the president as he was leaving the stage. More in this Reuters TV report.
This is the moment an explosion detonated as Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa left the stage at a political rally on Saturday. Mnangagwa, installed after Robert Mugabe was ousted by the military last year, called it a cowardly act.
It exploded a few inches away from me, but it is not my time.
He escaped unhurt, but others were not so lucky. Police said on Sunday that 49 people were injured in the blast, reportedly among them Vice President Kembo Mahadi and the wife of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. The blast happened as Zimbabwe prepares to hold its first post-Mugabe presidential election next month. Authorities gave no details on what caused the explosion, and there was no claim of responsibility. Police are offering a substantial reward for any information. Meanwhile, more than 2,000 miles north of the rally in Bulawayo, another explosion at another rally of another leader of an African country. 2 people died and more than 150 were injured in a grenade attack at the rally in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, which was attended by new reformist Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed.
And on that note, we come to the end of our news and sports updates. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook, and also sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Have a wonderful day.